Morning, boys and girls. Oh, it's a lovely Saturday morning in late fall Sweden. Morning coffee, black ice. What could be better? Cheers. So, we made it without a corrupt save into 1942 in black ice. That's not bad. I think I gone into 43 before the mod messed up. That's the furthest I ever gone. But so far everything's been working technically beautifully, so let's get into it. First off, late 41, the United States enters the war, along with Mexico and a few others. Maybe you can see them lit up here, Venezuela. Is that the ones I'm at war with? No, because Sweden is lit up and it's neutral. Anyways, Japan has advanced onto the islands, and I think they're into Burma, and they're heading into Singapore as well. I'm not quite following the war over there. I did check, however, Japanese losses are quite low in China, but the Americans already trashed them a bit. And as you can see on the map here, the submarine war progresses nicely. I am now producing a large amount of modern advanced submarines, so I expect things to get worse before they get better for the Allies. So on to the land war. Let's start from D-Day is here. The UK landed in France, and I never seen that happen in 1941 before. But I rushed over my training army and a couple of non-committed forces, and I would say that this is very safe. I'm now filling up the coastline because they actually landed not only in the province of the port, they also landed beside the port. So the AI is quite smart when it comes to their landings. They land in non-port provinces. But I'm gonna try to send at least one garrison regiment to each province here. I have one good quality panzer division here. The rest are 3 marine divisions, couple of half-trained infantry divisions. So it's a bit of a trashy army, but considering the numbers, 1, 2 US divisions, 2 French, and the rest are Commonwealth British. Alright, in the Mediterranean, still holding the Egyptian. I think I encircled 1 or 2 divisions down here. But I rushed over after liberating Palestine and Jordania. Funny thing is that Syria and Beirut they're still neutral or with Vichy, so they haven't been entered into the war this time around. I guess the US didn't have time to do torch. Let's just check. Oh, another thing. I got a pop-up event that the UK are invading a province in France. Very useful. A warning. Enemy rights executed. Yeah, they blasted a coal mine in Pas-de-Calais. I have plenty of coal. I don't care about that. Alright, so Iraq, Baghdad. I rushed over one of my 2 mechanized Panzer Grenadier divisions here from Jordania all the way into Baghdad from behind. The Allies has a thin line here in Iraq. And I have a line of garrison regiments here holding the mountain line in Persia. Because, of course, Russia and the UK, they're scripted to declare war on, was it 1st of November? And a small amount of troops here. So I grabbed Baghdad on the cheap, and now I think it's only to clear out these 4 divisions here. Go down here, clear out these 2 divisions here, and I should secure the oil in Iraq as well. I think these 2 mechanized African divisions is gonna be enough. And I was at 0 manpower, so I did the focus for the last Hitlerjugend. I hope I can say that without getting banned. Hitler Youth Military Reserves. That gave 50k, snap like that, but also a percentage of manpower. So I have plenty of cannon fodder now. I am fielding nearly 3 million soldiers. Of course, that's heavy on my stockpiles, but as you can understand, from France to Norway into Iran and also the Mediterranean theater, all the garrisons, and I had to rush up all my cavalry and then reinforce with a handful of garrison regiments. I have these new improved garrison regiments with an artillery symbol. I added a light anti-tank battalion, and I exchanged the light artillery, which is not researched, for my more advanced, very good over 12 soft attack mountain artillery. And the main advantage of them is that their durability, I want to say durability, but it's called reliability, is very, very high compared to other. Let's see if you can know. Anyway, so these are, compared to the orange garrison regiments, these are a bit better, a bit stronger. They're actually, when you 36 soft attack, but even though they only have one regiment of infantry, they're almost half as good as an infantry division, which has 9 battalions of infantry. So that's pretty weird. I find them very useful. You know, because you have so many places. I couldn't produce enough regular infantry divisions, so I keep most of my infantry division, or almost all of my infantry division, on the eastern front, and then I use these regiments around the Mediterranean and in ports. Anyways, it's looking good in Iraq, and also good is that I am in the green and less than a year to refill my fuel stockpiles finally. I made a mistake of not giving civilian factories to the USSR, to the Soviet Union, before the war. I should have restocked my oil stockpiles more than I did. And I suffered a very heavy lack of fuel. I was down to 0 fuel, more or less. But now with Baku, what's it called, the Caucasus area, so let's see, I'm over 360 oil. I just loaded it. Never mind these deficits. I'm even on a surplus on rubber. Never mind the deficits. I just loaded up the game, so it's gonna take less than a year to refill my stockpiles, and the lack of fuel penalties, you know, it's 4%. That's nothing compared to earlier. I think I was up at 20%, and I was bleeding so much stability. I would have been at 100 stability. And I also increased my fuel, what you call it again, my fuel consumption is at the highest here, so that didn't help. So that was a mistake. So I guess the lesson is that right before the war with Russia, give them some civilian factories and stockpile as much fuel as you can. Okay, I got sidetracked there a bit talking about the fuel situation. So now I have another problem here, and that is Moscow. This Red Army here, under my now level 6 urban specialist, because he's been grinding. He's also an infantry leader and infantry expert by now, General Lindemann, and he's been grinding here. I have some red divisions. They have assault weapons, so they're a tiny bit better at urban warfare, but I'm running out of submachine guns. I had around 4k submachine guns just laying around, so I transformed them into city fighters. Anyways, it is really hard to grab even an isolated. I have many provinces, like six provinces to attack from, but I can't just seem to get rid of the org of the defenders here. It's just such a slog and grind. And should I attack in the winter? Maybe I should just transform this into a prisoner of war camp, because I've been fighting here since October. It takes forever. I think I killed a few divisions from running out of org. But I guess with the manpower I have, I'm just planning to get rid of the 25 divisions in Moscow, whatever it costs. And then I'm basically done for 1941. I made a mistake. I lost this supply hub here, and that was a pretty heavy. Although I am in supply now, the Russians are also in supply. If I had defended this supply depot, all these Russians here would have been out of supply. But they're not attacking this sector. I guess I'm too strong with my mechanized forces here. They've been attacking up around Leningrad, and they actually broken through here over the river. And I am a bit weak up here, because obviously I am stretched and I can't be strong everywhere. So if we scroll out, you can see here that the northern sector is under attack from slugging, but the weather doesn't help the Russians either, so, and the terrain is pretty good here, and I have some reinforcements coming. But with the D-Day, with the Mediterranean theater, the Middle Eastern theater, with the Iran and then Moscow, the good thing is if you the experience here, if you zoom in and pause the video, you can see that I have some very experienced infantry divisions here for the rest of the war. But it's a expensive experience purchased with the blood of many German lives here. I am behind almost 5,000 garrison maintenance equipment now. I'm bleeding so much garrisons that I'm fully focused. Now when I resolve the fuel situation, I'm fully resolved to enter any new factories into garrison equipment. And I'm also I'm behind on researching the efficiency of my garrisons. But you don't want to start falling behind. I've gone from a healthy surplus and into 5k, and it's increasing rapidly. And I'm really worried about that. I'm trying to, but I have deficits on other equipment categories as well. And it's really hard to scrounge up the factories. But I can finally start building a couple of military factories now when my oil and rubber situation is taken care of. So, and in the south, the line is holding the entire southern front. And I'm very happy there's no fighting there, because I want to save on fuel, I want to save on equipment, I want to save on manpower. I want to fight in the summer using my panzer divisions. And no torch landings yet. I do have one silly infantry regiment, but there will be a scripted event here. So, 1st of January 1942, we are strained, the Axis powers. I'll show you the war losses. We're doing quite all right here. Almost Allies lost 3.5 million. And the Soviet Union, the Comintern, 4 million. So 7.5 Allied losses to 1.7 Axis losses. But German Reich, we're only at 330,000 so far. It's actually Italy that suffered 1 million losses. And I think you can probably do better. But the French the capture of France was a bitch this time around. I could have had a lot less losses there. But I've only lost 160,000 casualties. What I struggle with in my playstyle is to have enough mechanized forces for a low losses. I need less infantry and more mechanized in my next playthrough, because that lowers manpower losses. Yeah, I think that was all I wanted to report for 1942. We're gonna try to weather the storm in the winter, capture Moscow, finish out Iraq, and balance our equipment budgets. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.